Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Annovella, and as always on Sunday I have my Sunday Coffeeklatch. Coffeeklatch is an old term we use when we come together and have a little coffee and a cookie or cake or a pie or whatever, and we talk about the week that we had. And today is no different. I had an amazing reading week. Doorstopper Doom has started, and I'm almost halfway already. So my plan is to read 10 minimum 500 pages books in a month. And I started with Shogun. This is my original copy from when I was a teenager. It's 900 pages. It's brilliant. I'm going to talk about it in a separate video for my teen reads, but it's brilliant. I was really amazed at how well it aged. That's the word. Yeah, happy with that one. And then I read Vigorous by Gaea Schoeters. This is not translated, and I know why, because it's her first novel, and although she is an amazing author, in this one she was a bit too ambitious and she wanted to tell too many stories. So apart from some brilliant sentences here and there, I really couldn't enjoy this book. It was a 600 pages book. But for the Dutch-speaking people who are watching this, read Trophée by her. She is an amazing talent. Then what else did I read? I'm buddy reading The Thornbirds by Colleen McCullough with Kette van Riet, who also hosts Doorstopper Doom with me. And I'm really enjoying it. But boy, I read this also in the 80s, in my teens, and boy, am I surprised at how different it feels and how different you see that book now when you reread it, but a very enjoyable read indeed. I'm currently reading also, because I want to switch with non-fiction. This is also very interesting. It's called Mosquito by Thimothy C. Winegard, and how a human history of our deadliest predator, Mosquito. Very interesting. I'm 100 pages in. Don't read this as a book about mosquitoes, really, because you have everything explained in the first 50 pages. It is more about history and warfare and throughout the ages. So I just passed the segment of Alexander and how he died because of a mosquito, and it's more about how mosquitoes have changed the path of history. So yeah, it's really interesting though. Then what else did I read? Oh yeah, I read East of Eden by John Steinbeck. This is of course the Dutch version. I really enjoyed it. It's a smooth read, but boy, he can't write women. The way he described Kathy or Kate was ridiculous. And when he described her physically, I thought about Chucky's Bride. So yeah, but besides that, the telling and the descriptions of nature and life during pre-First World War and after was amazing. At the beginning, I thought Li, the Chinese character, was a bit of a caricature, but the more it progressed through the story, he became more normal in a way, more like a human being. And but the way he described Kathy or Kate, that was a big flaw for me. So yeah, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave it 4.5 stars. Yeah, and then I read by accident, in a way, a book that came out last year. And it was translated in Dutch from the Spanish. It's by Mariana Enriquez. And now it's coming out this month, or it is out. It's called Our Share of Night, Ons Deel van de Nacht. I read it as an ebook. It was free on my Kobo, and while I was reading it, so Mariana Enriquez, I think she is Argentinian. You should know her from her short stories, Things We Lost in the Fire and The Dangers of Smoking in Bed. And I started reading it, not knowing what kind of book it is, what type of or genre it is. And I started reading, and it started with Juan and Gaspar, and then there was magic. And, I was like, ooh, this is not a book that I would normally read. And a lot of magical things happened. And so it's about Juan and Gaspar. Juan is the father of Gaspar, and they just lost the mother of Gaspar, of course, the wife of Juan, and they are both lost. And Juan is trying to keep Gaspar away of his in-laws. And why is that? Because his in-laws are head of the order. And the order is an evil cult that puts away children in cages and makes them disappear and make women disappear, and they do offerings, human offerings and such. And I thought, well, how do you, I even texted Bob, how do you call this book? What genre is it? Is this horror? Is this horror fantasy, Gothic horror? We were having a whole discussion, and afterwards I realized the more she put emphasis on the time and the other things that happened around it. So this story is set late 70s, early 80s in Argentina. And then I started realizing, wait a minute, wasn't that the time of the Dirty War and those grieving mothers that protested for their children that disappeared, their sons? And then I realized this is a giant metaphor to tell the story and the grievings and the grievings of the Argentinian people during the dictatorship of the Argentinian regime. And once you get that, everything becomes clear and you realize how powerful the story is. Is it perfect? No. Some things take too much time to tell. She could have easily told it in 700 pages instead of 800. But still, I found it really powerful, and the ending is also very, for someone who reads it as a horror novel or a horror fiction or horror fantasy or whatever, they could be disappointed by the ending. But if you read it for what it is, and that is just an account of the atrocities that the Argentinian people had to endure, then you understand it a whole lot better. And it finally clicked for me when she talked about a football game. God damn it! Argentina, Belgium, where we lost thanks to the hand of God. Where Diego Maradona, scored a goal with his hand, which is, if you know soccer, is not allowed, but it was accepted anyway. And he called it afterwards the hand of God. But anyways, so I really started thinking, why did she use that event in this story? And then I started realizing, oh, wait a minute. Early 80s, yeah, this and that. And then I remembered the Dirty War, I believe. So at least 30,000 people disappeared during that time. And the in-laws were just the government, and Juan tries to get away to save his son. And but Juan is in very bad shape, he's in bad health, and will he succeed? And that's the story of Our Sheriff Night. It is a very interesting and fascinating read. But just don't read it as a horror story, read it as what it is, an account of the filthy war in Argentina, I believe starting with the overthrow of the government of Evita Perón. Don't cry for me. And that was in 75, 76, I'm not entirely sure. A lot of, especially male students, or students in general, were abducted by the government and tortured, and for no reason, because they had an opinion. They were not happy with the military government. Yeah. Things can change quickly in a country, very quickly. Our Sheriff Night and Mariana Enriquez is a 4.5-star read for me, even 5. I think I gave it 5 on Goodreads because it's such an important work. Yeah, it really is. So yeah, we're still in October, so there are quite a few books I still want to read. So I want to finish Mosquito. I want to finish, I'm almost done. It's another 50 pages of the Thornbirds. Oh, I have a lot to say about that. We both have. And I'm thinking of reading Dr. Zhivago. This is the Dutch version. It's a feisty book. And then I'm thinking of reading Atwood's, The Blind Assassin, winner of the 2000 Booker Prize. I've never read an Atwood. And then I will put this here because I have so many books around me. I brought this from the library. It's Kafka, all the work of Kafka. Maybe not for Doorstopper Doom. It's all his books in one. Beautiful, huh? I like it. I like the... I think I will buy it someday because I like Kafka. I really like Kafka. What's in it? The Passenger, the... Oh, wait. The Trial, The Castle. There's all the books, and also all the short stories are in there. Maybe not for Doorstopper Doom, but still it will be... I will start this month. And then I bought this yesterday also in the library for 30 cents. Generations of Winter. I don't know what it's about. It's Vasili Aksjonov, Generations of Winter. It's written in 93. Yeah. This is the story of a Russian family that tries to survive during the reign of Stalin, and which we all know wasn't easy. So I'm really interested in reading this one. Described with passion, cruelty, heroism, and pain. Generations of Winter is a masterpiece within the tradition of the great 19th century Russian novels. It's a combination of Tolstoy and with the emotional power of Dr. Zhivago. So yeah, why not? I thought, it was the biggest book I could find. It's 1,063 pages. Okay, and then I bought this secondhand also for 50 cents. It's called The First Man in Rome, and I also have Caesar by Colleen McCullough because I really enjoy it. I really enjoy her writing style, and I find that we should read her more. But then again, there are so many writers, so many authors, so many books. In French they call it l'embarras du choix. I hope you enjoyed my interview with Catherine J. Chen, the author of Joan, or Jeanne in Dutch. It comes out, the Dutch version comes out on 15th of November. And yeah, it's an amazing book. You really should read it. It's the retelling of the life of Joan of Arc, and it's an amazing book. And please check out the interview because she has a lot of things to say. She's a really intelligent woman, and yeah, we talked a lot about her big example, Hilary Mantel, and yeah, it's interesting to learn how authors read books and how they see literature, and even, how should I call it, sentences. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Let me know, how was your week? Did you have a good time? Did you read a lot? Did you write? Did you do the exercise? Because tomorrow I have a new exercise. So I'm not doing, I never do, how do you call it, theory. It's always practical exercises that I give because that's the most important thing. You can read about writing as much as you can, as much as you want, but if you don't write, you won't become a writer. So yeah, but I give you practical tips and exercises that will inspire you. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't have a habit of asking that, but still, it's important to have a community and to be able to discuss and to hear what you guys are looking for. And maybe we have the same tastes, and you give me tips and I give you tips, and it's an interaction because we are readers, and that makes us often introverts, and introverts have already difficulty meeting people, and this is a safe way, and you can be whoever you want, and if you want to talk about literature, you can, and it's safe, it's fun, it's enriching, it's everything you want it to be. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. The sun is out, well, where I live, and go for a walk, go for a stroll, have a good time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.